I know you all really love to buy these late game items and just get there as fast as possible, but sometimes we need a slow, gradual build up. So instead, today I'm going to be talking about the basic items that you should be buying and considerations and things of that nature. This will be more so for newer to intermediate players, and even a lot of you experts can use a tip from time to time on going back and buying some of these early game progression items. Welcome everybody, my name is Navetz, representing my esports team, the Sploush Troupe, and this video today is brought to you on behalf of Gamers Class. Alright, our first item on the docket is Fairy Fire. So now that Fairy Fire gives you 85 health as an instant restore and plus 2 damage, it has become a lot better to get in the safe lane in particular. It's always been good in the mid lane, but it's 70 gold, 85 health instantly, which is really good when you consider the fact that you can turn the tides of a close fight by popping that Fairy Fire right before you die. So for a lot of early game safe lane carries, what you're going to want to do is buy 2 sets of tangos, usually a circlet, then an iron branch, and then a Fairy Fire. That should give you enough gold to do all of it. It should give you enough gold to do all of that, and it should let you play kind of hyper aggressive. If you click the enemy team's items and they don't have a Fairy Fire themselves, you go ahead and play aggressive, pop it. They're like, wow, where'd that 85 health come from? And you get first blood or you get an early kill, and it's really good for you. In the same right, we're going to quickly talk about the enchanted mango. Now these are usually going to be picked up on your supports. I'll give you a very classic example of the easiest way to play one of the stronger supports, and that it's Lich. You just go to lane with 3 enchanted mangoes, and every time that you can, you throw an ice blast on the position 4 or position 3. You just continue blasting them, you play aggressive, and then you just pop all 3 mangoes. By that time, they're forced to eat up a lot of regen, and you usually get yourself in an advantageous position, and you can also secure a lot of ranged last hits for your safe lane to make sure you don't miss out on an experience, especially if you have the extra enchanted mangoes. Okay, our next 2 items are going to be kind of items that help you dominate the lane. And this is going to be either the Orb of Venom or the Blightstone. Both of them 300 gold. Both of them really good for lane domination. Now, the Orb of Venom gives you poison attack. It deals 2 magical damage, slowing movement speed by 15% if the hero who's equipped is melee, 4% if it's ranged. So it's better on melee heroes. You're going to pick this up on heroes like Legion Commanders. You're going to pick this up on like your Beastmasters, stuff like that. It makes your lane so much stronger in the early game, and you're able to basically chase down and kill heroes. You can pick this up also on position 4s like Tusk. It's really good. Now, the Blightstone doesn't have that kind of caveat where it only works well on melee heroes. It reduces armor by 2 on everybody. So you want this for heroes that can kind of dominate lanes and that might build into Desolators, but I'll give you a couple examples. Blightstone is kind of good on Lone Druid. If you throw it on his bear early, his bear will reduce the armor of people. If you get a root, then you attack with your main hero, your bear, you get a root, it's reducing armor. You're maybe going for the Daedalus build on him, Mask of Madness Desolator build, because Blightstone builds into Desolator. That's how you kind of want to think about that. So it might be good on someone like Lone Druid. Now you're thinking about maybe also position 3s and 4s you can put it on. Like let's say you got a position 4 Windrunner. Might not be a bad idea to throw a Blightstone on her. You got a position 3 Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet's going to like having a Blightstone because you've got your summons that are attacking, you've got your main hero that's attacking, your main hero already does a lot of damage, and early game armor reduction is really good. So that's when you're going to kind of want to consider picking up the Blightstone and the Orb of Venoms in those type of situations. For all of the new players and players who are in the intermediate level or even experts, if these are items that you don't pick up right now and you don't think about them, I need you to start buying them every single game. Like, they're so good. Magic Stick and Raindrops. So first off, let's talk about the Magic Stick. You're going to want a Magic Stick basically every game. It gives you a charge every time somebody uses a spell near you. This can be These can be the game-changing plays, whether or not you have the magic stick or not in the early game. To reach 10 charges of magic stick gives you 150 health, 150 mana. That can be enough mana to cast an extra spell and get a kill. Can be enough health to just put you over the above the enemy who's attacking you, or it can do both simultaneously. Now, what you don't want to do is just be upgrading this to a magic wand right away. This you can upgrade to a magic wand usually later on. In the early game though, you just want to stick with your stick, because the magic wand, unless you're against a hero who casts a boatload of spells, like a bristleback with his quills or a phantom assassin with her daggers, the bonus that you get is not worth the cost. It gives you 3 to all attributes and 3 to all attributes and an extra 10 charges. Usually you can just pop your stick after your charge, after you like max out at 10. You can pop your stick for some extra health and regen and then regain those charges. It's usually not worth this in the early game. It's a lot better to take that 250 gold and invest it in these infused raindrops. Now, infused raindrops will block 120 magic damage from damage instances over 50 damages, and it does this for 6 charges. This saves that's 120 magic damage. That you're getting hit by a spell, especially early game spells aren't doing like 300, 400 magic damage, but even if they are, you're still blocking 120 of those for 6 instances. It does have a 7-second cooldown, so you're basically blocking one per kind of little skirmish that you go through, but it's really good. It's usually it can usually be a game-changing item, especially in the early game. So if you haven't been buying it, you should really start thinking about it. It's only available from the 3-minute mark and onward. So I know a lot of people, like, they can't even keep track of like when the bounty runes spawn at the 5-minute mark, and the you know, it shifts from daytime to nighttime and all that kind of stuff happens. You're just like, whoa, too much to think about. Just think about this item. Get in the habit of buying it around the 3-minute mark or 3 or 4 minute mark. It's really good. And in addition to all that, it gives you 0.8 mana regeneration. Now, I can't stress how great this is as a farming mechanic on a lot of core heroes. So just thinking about the 2 heroes I did guides on the most recently, that's Spectre. You can use it for more spectral daggers to farm either the wave or farm camps, or for Faceless Void, you can use it to time walk and quickly get between camps as soon, like, you want to be jumping up cliffs and you want to be farming faster. So having infused raindrops to give you more mana regeneration as well is just so good. Don't skip out on this item. Try if you haven't been buying the stick and the raindrops, start doing that. Make that part of every one of your builds as either a carry or a core. All right, and the final thing I'll mention, since those were the main items I wanted to talk about, is kind of talking about building your components of bigger items that you're going to want to go for. So let's say power treads are kind of the biggest one I can think about. A lot of the times in your lanes, you don't need boots right away. It would be better for you to have attack speed. So buy the gloves of haste before you buy your boots in the power treads build up. That's one way to think about it. Another good item to get early when you're going for builds on drums or Helm of the Dominator, for example, is the crown. Crowns are really nice. They give you 4 stats. They're 450 gold. Pretty nice overall. If you're going to go for something like a Mask of Madness, then obviously your 2 components are your quarterstaff and your morbid mask. Figure out which one you need at that point. Would you rather have the 10 attack speed and 10 damage, or would you have the lifesteal? If you're thinking about buying a big item later on, now this is the last one I'll talk about, and it is part of a guide I made earlier, but if you're thinking about a later game item that you want, you can build an earlier component to that item. And what I'm thinking right now is the Helm of Iron Will. So Helm of Iron Will does come into effect for a lot of kind of big items. So Helm of the Dominator if you're playing in the off lane, an armlet if you're playing like a Huskar, or if you're playing like a Chaos Knight. If you're going with a tanky guy like a Centaur or an Axe, somebody who's gonna be building Crimson Knight, this item, if you can get it early, so good. And then if you're playing a carry, you don't necessarily have to go for the Nullifier as a big item right away, but you can get the Helm of Iron Will early, and then your next major item, let's say a manta or something, I don't know which hero you're playing, but like maybe a manta, and then come back later on and finish off the nullifier with the sacred relic, because the Helm of Iron Will, the 5 armor and the 5 HP regeneration are just so good. So yeah, think about those kind of things. That was just, you know, to get your brain thinking about the build-ups on your way to your big items. You should be thinking about that when the game's starting. You should be thinking about the heroes that you're against. You should be like, do I need armor? Do I need damage? What do I need to do? And figure that kind of stuff out. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to buy your raindrops, your magic sticks, all those good things, and think about your item progressions at the beginning of the game. Good luck to all of you. Until next time, one love.